Hello, Elijah.
I never know how to start these actual episodes, like when we record. Oh, look, you're in the season.
Beep.
I kind of am. My sweater says stargazing with Patrick Bateman.
Okay, that's what it says. I was like sitting there trying to. I thought it was the code
It's like
from.
a word search.
I thought it was the code from Under the Silver Lake at first.
Oh,
I
I
was
thought
like,
you were
that's
gonna
an
say it.
interesting
I thought it
shirt.
was the code for Zodiac Killer that was out. They just found out who that was, apparently.
It did. It did.
It took us a long time. I don't know. I'm not all into that real. What is it called? What do they call that? True crime stuff.
True life crime. Yeah, I'm not.
I wasn't. I'm not the biggest into. I'm not. I haven't reached that phase yet of entertainment. Like I know eventually we will get there, but I haven't gotten there yet. Some people get it early. Some people get it old.
Yeah, I want to stick with my imaginary Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger. Because I watched like when I watched the Zac Efron Ted Bundy movie. It wasn't that good of a movie, but even that it was like I don't know why people are into this. This is so eerie. This is like so because it's real. It's actual
Yeah,
shit.
it's real. It's real. Yeah, especially if they like. Some people thrive on being like it's so accurate, and it's kind of scary. It's like I don't want to know that type of accuracy of things. If I
Right?
did, I would read about it, I guess. But we don't have to
Yeah.
make movies about it.
And even then, like it took me a long time to, and I still haven't finished it. There was someone that kept on recommending me to watch My Friend Dahmer. You ever heard about that one?
Yeah.
And I watched like maybe 15 to 20 minutes of it. And I was like, I can't do this. I cannot do this. It's just too much.
That's based on a graphic novel I found out. I don't know who the
Yeah.
author was or if they're actually associated with like if there was the person who actually came in contact with him or not, but I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know how it goes. I don't know how those stories come out. Like there's some stories that I feel like work. Like Elijah Wood came out with I think it was a Ted Bundy project, but it was about him like
Yeah, he's
becoming
like
friends
the
with an FBI interrogator trying to find out why he did it. And
yeah, I've heard good things about that one.
um I don't know. We got a lot of things to talk about today on History of Popcorn. If you don't know, we are History of Popcorn. We're a secret public movie club, and you're invited to hang out because we do a lot of things. We do movie news, we do movie reviews, and we just celebrate everything films because we love films. I'm Elijah,
I'm Justin.
and we are your hosts of this podcast. Whether you're listening on Spotify or Apple or watching us on YouTube, that's cool too.
Yeah.
We hope you tell your friends about us and keep following what we're doing. And
Mhm.
because we do this for you guys. Are you gonna try to see Halloween Kills
I
in
think I am.
theaters this weekend?
I think I am. I'm really going hard with
This
Halloween
Halloween
movies right now.
season? Yeah,
Yeah.
me too, kind
I'm
of.
actually like thinking about like I'm gonna like dress up this year and everything. I'm gonna
Well,
embrace
yeah,
it.
it's
Usually I don't, but
because
you know
you
what?
couldn't last year and you kind of realized, I feel like I should have done that more
Hmm.
or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this year I have a few costume ideas, but I already if you have me on Instagram, I've just all day been posting about Halloween movies, my story.
Are you gonna be something original like a ghost face?
Right. No, no. I'm
I'll do that one year.
still not really sure what I want to be, but part of me
Mhm.
wants to be Martin Short's character from Only Murders in the Building.
That'd be awesome. He's very stylish.
Hell yeah.
He's very stylish. My bad. That's a good show.
I love that show. It's seriously one of my new favorites. It shocked the hell out of me. It's really good.
Hmm. Also, side note, I found out Halloween Kills, which comes out this weekend, is also coming out on Peacock same day release.
Oh,
So even if you can't see it in theaters, you can see it on Peacock if you have Peacock, the NBC service.
I do kind of remember you mentioning that the last episode last week. I think I said something like, well, yeah, I think the reviews are not that good, so they're kind of scared of it not making that much money. But they
Hmm.
already filmed the third one regardless, so it's not
Hmm.
like it. It's not like it, even if it does bomb in the box office, they still have a
It'll
third
probably
one
be
coming.
exclusively in theaters next one, and they'll be like, "Well, how does it end? I gotta figure out how it ends."
No, I mean like, yeah, at this point, I think I mean like Venom and Dune. Even Dune is kind of showing that like people are kind of aching to go back in the theaters now.
Yeah, especially Venom and stuff, because you couldn't see that anywhere else. Dune is going to be
Mhm.
straight to or HBO Max. It's just not yet.
Well, I
In
heard
those
that
countries who are doing well, they don't think they have HBO Max yet.
no, but I heard that Dune might not even go to HBO Max anymore.
It's getting pretty close. It's getting pretty close.
Yeah, the last trailer that they released though, it said it used one of those only in theaters tags and it's not the HBO Max. At least from what I remember. I could be wrong, but I found that to be very interesting.
Maybe it's like
I think,
in the fine print or something.
yeah, I think it could like that HBO Max thing is kind of stupid. Did you hear because that new Sopranos movie came out
Mhm.
and the creator was like, oh man, this movie would have made so much money if it wasn't on HBO Max. It's like, no, it wouldn't have.
It feels like it was made for HBO Max.
Exactly. It feels like it should have been an HBO
But
Max
I'm hearing good
release.
things about that movie. So I haven't seen it yet. I'll watch it eventually
haven't
when I
either.
watch Sopranos too. I want to have a connection to it once I watch it. I don't want it to be my first
Same.
impression of the Sopranos world, even though it's before.
Mhm.
But yeah. Should we get to some movie news then? I know you wanted. Oh, we can talk. Actually, we have a DCOM to revisit later today. For those you don't know, we have Disney Channel original movies that we like to revisit every so often. And since it's Halloween season, we went with a classic of Halloweentown, which was the fourth DCOM to ever exist. Justin, I found that out.
Mhm.
But this is my first time watching it. It was pretty insane. So we'll be talking about that toward the end of the episode. But just look forward to that.
I cannot wait.
Let's get into some news now, Justin. Some new news, and then we'll get into our DCOM of Halloweentown. What did you think of Timothee Chalamet as Wonka? The photo was released by Timothee Chalamet himself. They officially started production on Wonka, and it looks like
He looks like Tiny Tim, Christmas Carol.
I don't know what to expect. It's happening. It's really happening.
It looks like he's playing a younger Scrooge more than Wonka. He just looks yeah, I don't know about that. I have no faith in that one. I really don't.
I don't know what to expect.
I just think that's such a bad move.
Well, okay, we don't have to talk about Wonka until it comes out again. How about that?
I mean, what do you think about that look?
I'm trying to differentiate whether it's closer to Gene Wilder's look or Johnny Depp's look, but it's like they're both kind of similar, I guess, because it's Willy Wonka. But I don't know.
Hopefully they try to do like their own thing, but even then, like, yeah, I don't know what to expect either. Yeah, let's move on.
Okay, all right.
I don't know what to think about that. That's a strange one.
I texted you about this the other day. They're making a sequel series on Netflix for that 70s show. Did you see that?
I did.
90s show.
I didn't look too much into it. I saw you message me about that. Very interesting. Netflix is doing it too, right?
Yeah, 10 episode series, and it's gonna have the return of Red and Kitty Foreman, and it takes place over the summer, I guess, of them taking care of Leia Foreman, who's Eric and Donna's daughter.
Mm.
So it's all new hijinks in the 90s. And Netflix is doing it. All the original creators are returning.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that's nerve-wracking about this is that all the original creators came back for that 80s show.
Yeah, they try to do that. Yeah.
And that was it started Dennis Reynolds from It's Always Sunny. But
it was a weird didn't it happen like right after? It just didn't work. Yeah, I think 90s was gonna be a better.
Yeah, like literally it was they had the finale of that 70s show and then they premiered that 80s show right after. So I think that was also like people were kind of like, we're not ready for this yet.
Wow, yeah.
But yeah, who knows? I mean, like I love me some Red and Kitty, but you know.
Yeah, me too.
I wonder if clearly, most likely, you're probably going to get cameos from the others.
Probably not Hyde though.
I was just gonna say that. Beat me too.
But we don't want to get flagged or anything. So yeah.
It's interesting though. It can go either way. I mean,
I mean, those two are great. How are you not going to go that way? And they can just tell it's going to be like Girl Meets World.
yeah, which
Like
that's what I'm worried about.
that did well. That did well for a new generation, just not for us.
Right.
But this is Netflix, so you can go in a more adult direction, I feel like. I mean, that's basically how long it's been since the beginning of that show, isn't it? Like 20 years?
Yeah. I mean, like, it's kind of understandable why Red and Kitty are the only two that come back because they haven't done anything. I can't think of a thing that they've done. I've seen them in years.
They've been in small roles. I mean, Kitty, who's Deborah Jo Rupp, I believe her name is. She's just in the WandaVision TV show.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a big one. So she's a part of the MCU, huh?
Yeah, Kurtwood Smith is probably somewhere. I just haven't seen him. Oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
Red was in the ranch for a while with Ashton Kutcher.
Oh yeah, everybody ended up being on the ranch. That was on
Yeah,
that
now they're
70s
just
show.
doing it. They're just doing it again with that 90's show. I hope they bring
Yeah.
everyone back. That'd be cool.
Oh yeah, he was also in El Camino Christmas.
I don't remember him in that, but I remember watching that actually. Funny movie.
Yeah.
So many revivals. Like they're doing How I Met Your Dad or Father now, I guess it's
Oh
called.
my god.
Anyway.
Yeah, with Hilary Duff.
Well, let's get to the next movie. This one's a movie that I found out. It's called Boy Kills World. Speaking of Boy Meets World or Girl Meets World, whatever one we said. This one's called Boy Kills World, and it's the third series to Boy Meets World where I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say
Boy
damn.
Kills World.
On Disney Plus.
This one has Bill Skarsgård and Samara Weaving, for those who know those actors. But it's a revenge action fantasy film. And it's here's how the movie pitches it. It says, Boy Kills World is described as a one-of-a-kind action spectacle set in a dystopian fever dream reality. Boy, who's played by Bill Skarsgård, is a deaf mute with a vibrant imagination. When his family is murdered, Boy escapes to the jungle and is trained by a mysterious shaman to repress his childish imagination and becomes an instrument of death. And Samara Weaving will play an assassin named June 27th.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
Interesting.
very weird. It's apparently, yeah.
June 27th.
Yeah, I was like, is this the release date? Oh, no. I had to like reread the sentence over and over. I was like, she plays who? When?
Yeah. It's kind of pretentious a little bit, but okay.
I don't know what to expect. Maybe that's the day they like graduate or something from assassin school. I don't know how assassin school works.
I hope not.
But yeah, it's shooting early next year, and this is going to be on my list because I like that actor.
Yeah, I love both of them.
Actors.
Both of them are good. Looks like Sam Raimi's a producer of it too.
Oh yeah, Sam Raimi got attached after seeing a student film of the person who's now directing it, and it'll be a first-time directing job for the creator. He made like a mini film for it, and they're like, "This is a good vision. Let's make it." And that was back in 2018 because he went to school at UCLA, and they saw it.
Nice.
So, I'm excited for that one. That one's on my list.
Yeah, no, I'm
Kills World.
I'm down for that. I'm down for Boy Kills World. Let's see what June 27th has in store.
Yeah, let's see the origins of that. Justin, I know you're behind in the MCU, and I know you'll catch up one day because apparently Bill Murray is joining the MCU.
I did hear about that. So yes,
it's pretty rumored right now. There's not official outlets, but people found out about this because he might show up in Ant-Man Quantumania, which is the third Ant-Man movie. They found this out because an actor who is Bill Murray's body double for photography and stuff, for setting up shots and all this stuff, updated one of his profiles that's like IMDb, but it wasn't IMDb, for Ant-Man. And it says Bill Murray's body double or like photography double. So he's there to set up the shots and stuff. And so there's rumors that Bill Murray is joining the MCU. I wonder who he would play.
He'd probably do like a small role like Gary Shandling did in the Iron Man movies.
I don't think he has like an 18 picture deal or something. He probably would.
Yeah.
I don't know who he would play because I don't know MCU characters that well.
Same.
That's exciting though. So you got to catch up if he is joining for Bill Murray. Do it for Bill Murray and the podcast, so we can talk about it.
Do it for Murray. He needs the work.
Oh yeah, he needs. Of course, he does.
He's forgotten. He's not doing anything anymore.
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
All right, Justin. We got one more story before our DCOM revisited Halloweentown.
Okay.
I'll give you two options between this last story, and then we'll save one of them for next week.
Okay.
We've got. I want to pitch this as anonymously as possible. We've got a bomb ass picture. I'll call it that. Okay. And an 80s movie reboot coming out.
Is the bomb ass picture at least original?
Kind of, yeah. Yes, kind of.
Let's go with bomb ass picture.
The bomb ass picture. Okay, yeah. We'll talk about the 80s reboot next week.
Yeah.
I'll have more to say about that one next week anyway. Okay. The bomb ass picture is Christopher Nolan's new film. Have you heard about it?
A little bit.
It's about, okay, I call it a bomb ass picture because
that's good.
The topic is about the creation of the atom bomb. So I think it's a big deal though, for a couple of reasons. He signed with a new company for the first time since I think his career. Like he's with a different studio for the first time in his career. He's with Universal now, which
interesting.
I believe who was he with before? It was
Warner Bros.
But they're doing like streaming. They're contemplating streaming futures. So he didn't want them to do that at all.
Mm-hmm.
So he went with Universal, where they're guaranteed film releases.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, like, I don't blame him. The only like movies that they released during the pandemic was like King of Staten Island and the Trolls World Tour. Wait, that's not Universal.
Warner Brothers?
Yeah. No, Universal. So that makes sense.
Oh, well, they just came back too because of Fast 9.
Yeah, and nobody.
We're back to committing to it.
Yeah, and nobody was Universal as well, and that movie made a lot of money.
That's true. Yeah. So this next movie is already has the star attached, which is, I don't know how to say his name. I always say like two versions of it. I say Cillian or Cillian Murphy. I don't know which way it is. I think it's Cillian Murphy.
I think it's Cillian Murphy.
It's from 28 Days Later. He was in Quiet Place Part 2. He's a very good actor, and he's gonna play J. Robert Oppenheimer, who was the creator of the atom bomb. And if you look at the side by sides of the photos of them, they do look alike. And it's probably going to be a really heavy film because this guy, Oppenheimer, struggled with major guilt after he created this bomb. So I don't know how this is going to be like. I'm imagining it's going to be something like The Aviator, just off the top of my head, of like documenting this guy's life of how he eventually descends into what, I don't know. It's gonna be a weird big movie though.
Yeah. No, looking at the pictures side by side, that's pretty eerie. They do look a lot alike.
Yeah. The eyes.
This is gonna be his first biopic too.
Oh yeah.
Usually
I wonder what it's based on. I wonder if the film is based on the Pulitzer Prize winning book American Prometheus: The Triumph and Tragedy of J. Robert Oppenheimer by Kai Bird. And Martin J. Sherwood. Oh, it's gonna be shot in IMAX, 65 millimeter large format film. Yeah, it's Nolan. All his teams coming back.
Yeah, that's his heroine right there. It's IMAX.
Yeah, so that's the next big epic to look forward to with Christopher Nolan. But
yeah, hopefully. Yeah, no, that like I said to you, I said to a lot of people who love Christopher Nolan, I want him to like go back to something that's small again,
This isn't going to be small, but yeah.
Well, I mean, like, smaller and less like insane, like Tenet and Interstellar, like those movies are like really, really like big. This is like about a dude trying to make a bomb. it's still gonna be an IMAX and ship. So
Well,
it's
he
like,
successfully, yeah. I wonder what the visuals, because he does something groundbreaking in every movie, like different, something incredibly different that you're like, how did
right.
he do that? I wonder what he's going to do with this. It's probably going to be about a lot of lights, kind of like
Mhm.
interstellar, but I don't know what to expect from this. Especially from Christopher Nolan. It might be one of like a tamer movie, I guess.
That's what I mean. Yeah, and
Yeah. I see what
I
you mean.
want something like that from him because
Oh, okay.
I love Memento. That's my favorite Christopher Nolan movie. I love um this one movie that he did with Insomnia. It's another great one. Like I just like even like Batman Begins. Like it was just, and even The Dark Knight. Just like it was all
He's
just
got a
very.
lot of good movies, Justin. It's
No, he
Christopher
does,
Nolan.
but
He just
no,
like
that
listed like half of them,
I
just
know,
in different.
but those are the
Early, his early movies are good. His later movies are pretty. Those in between movies are.
no, I wasn't a big fan of Interstellar. But I wasn't a big fan of. I haven't seen Tenet yet, which I know I really
Oh yeah, I
should.
was going to ask you that. It's on HBO still, isn't it?
Who knows? I don't think it is.
It
I
was
don't.
anyway. It might be. It's just not on the featured pages anymore. It might be in there
Yeah.
in the deep library, but yeah.
Mhm. But yeah, no, I just like him going back to just doing something that's just grounded more than doing like, oh, I'm
Super
gonna do
surreal.
something about.
Yeah, it's more based in reality. It was 100% based in reality, I'm
Yeah,
sure. Unless it's like they're saying he got the idea from like I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do with it. It's based on a book, based on his life. So we'll see.
I want Christopher Nolan's next movie to be a Honey I Shrunk the Kids remake.
Dude, you mean the one they're actually making with Josh Gad?
I don't want to talk about that one.
Okay, let's talk about our DCOM revisit then, Justin. Let's go right into that. You got to do the little
DCOM revisited. TM.
there we go.
Like, no one can take it anymore.
It's gonna change every time, yeah. Well, yeah.
TM.
They can't take us. I can't speak. They can't take this away from us. We're gonna be revisiting the classic. Would you say? Yes, I'd probably say it's a classic.
Oh yeah, no, 100% classic.
I really say that because I just saw it for the first time last night.
Yeah.
And that is Halloweentown from 1998. And I know once I told people I was watching it for the first time, I know a lot of people got very excited. And I see why, because this was a big Halloween movie. Like I didn't realize, I don't know why I didn't realize how big of a Halloween movie it was going to be. But that's because I had that connection with the characters in the movie, them not being able to celebrate Halloween. I was like, maybe there's something to this. I should ask my parents.
Yeah, I mean, it is called Halloweentown, so.
Right. I don't know what I was expecting, but it went right in and I was like, I love this. I love the brother. Do you want to tell the people what Halloweentown is about if they didn't get to rewatch it and revisit it with us?
Got you. So Halloweentown is the story of Marnie Piper, played by Kimberly J. Brown, and she is this 13-year-old who just really loves Halloween, but her mother, Gwen, played by Judith Hoag, just doesn't want her, for some reason, does not want her or her sister, Sophie, her little sister, to ever go trick-or-treating. Their brother, on the other hand, Dylan, played by Joey Zimmerman, could give less of a fuck. He wants to read books and watch nature documentaries. He's a boring ass kid.
I love that character though. I'm like, I would hang out with this kid.
He's boring. Anyway, so then so the first thing is like Gwen is being very, very stern. They're the only house in the block that is not dressed up for Halloween, barely even eat candy. She doesn't want anything to do with Halloween. So that right there makes Marnie just be like, well, why is this such a big deal? Even her friends are at the house like wearing like costumes, and be like, come on, we're 13, trick-or-treating. Mom's like, no, they're just some things about Halloween you should not know about. So it makes you think, like, if I would, at least if I was Marnie, I would be like, well, what happened to you? Like this is all like a you thing. This is not a me thing. She kind of does that. She's like, hey,
I mean, honestly, that was what my childhood was like. They're like, we don't celebrate Halloween. I'm like, why? And they're like, we just don't.
It's because Elijah's a goddamn warlock, and this is something I've always said.
Apparently, but he waited until I had to find out myself to tell me. It's like a whole
So
rule.
anyways, so after Marnie and Gwen get into this huge argument, we start to discover that there might be something else because Gwen makes cookies and Sophie really wants a cookie. And for some reason, well, good reason, Gwen's like, hey, you're not gonna have a cookie because we have dinner first, and then you can have a cookie afterwards, even though she made the cookie,
The
even though
little
she,
details.
even though she made the cookies before she made dinner, but whatever, that's fine. That's fine and dandy. But Sophie, the cookie starts coming towards her and stuff. So that's when we start to realize, oh, there's some magic here. So after that, we get the beautiful presence of Debbie Reynolds, who plays Aggie. Gwen's mother and Marnie, Sophie and Dylan's grandmother comes into town, and she has a bag that walks around with her that looks like a dog. It's very strange. Bus flying around all over the place. No one notices it. It's fine. It's fine. Little details.
Gave me really big Magic School Bus vibes though. I was like, oh wow.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%.
It was like Miss Frizzle. Oh no,
yeah.
Okay.
Nope, just Aggie. So anyways, long story short, so Aggie is there for a specific reason, but she's there for a main specific reason. Like she really needs Gwen's help. But there's also this other layer of just Aggie being a total just mischievous witch. And she's like, you know what, I'm just gonna start my daughter. I haven't seen her in a long time. So she brings like all these costumes, she brings all this candy, she brings everything that Gwen does not want the kids to get excited about. And so blah blah, you start to discover that there is this evil dark force that's in Gwen's hometown, which is, say it with me, kids, Halloweentown. Yeah. Anyways, so there's like this weird, mysterious dark force that's like kind of zapping people and putting them in a movie theater, and they're just frozen and gray.
It was a cool movie theater, I must say.
It was a cool movie theater.
I like the way it looked. I like the way they introduced the bad guy too through that. Anyway, cool.
Yeah, don't spoil. Even though this movie's been out for a long time. So anyway, so then Gwen's like, no, not helping you. So Marnie is like overhearing this conversation, and Marnie's like, I knew it. I'm a damn witch. I fucking knew it. And that's exactly, so it's the exact line.
Yeah.
I knew it. I'm a witch.
Yeah.
And so Dylan, she's like talking to her little brother Dylan, the little smart ass Dylan that Elijah likes for some reason.
Oh, he's so great.
He needs to get smacked, okay?
I've decided that this was a dream, so why am I going to worry about it? That's why he just like goes along with everything after a while. Like, I've accepted this as a dream. He just is in denial the whole movie.
Doesn't she pinch him like right after that? He's like, ow, why'd you do that?
Yeah, he might have, yeah.
So they're like talking, Dylan and Marnie, and Marnie's like, well, I'm gonna go follow grandma. And Dylan is like, he follows her because he's the man of the house because their dad is gone. And so
he says that line in the movie and it made me laugh. I'm the man of the house. So I was like, oh.
That was probably one of the only things that he said that made me be like, hey, okay, that was a good one.
Maybe, I was like, this made me think he's just not going to do anything in the whole movie. He's like, yeah, the guys don't do anything in this family, I guess.
Right.
So
yeah, the dad's gone. The dad, I guess, is dead. If you're wondering what happened to the dad in this movie or in the entire franchise, don't ever ask, because they never talk about it in any of the movies. For some reason, they just, dad's gone. It's a typical Disney thing that they usually do with the mom.
One of the parents is gone.
Yeah. But you know what? Dead dad. Get out of here. So they enter Halloweentown. Aggie still doesn't realize that they're there, and Marnie is just totally like, this is it. This is our lives. And like Elijah said, Dylan just thinks that these just whacked out hallucinations and that he fell asleep on the bus, even though on the bus people were dressed like creepy
and they were flying in the sky. Yep.
And they were flying in the sky, but who cares? He was just dreaming. He was dreaming as they were flying in the sky. It's typical. So you think it's just gonna be those two, and then they're gonna go to grandma's house, but no, Sophie somehow finds her way on the bus. How? Don't ask questions.
This is all still the beginning too, yeah.
Exactly. And so then they meet up with Aggie, and Aggie tells them more about, like, there's this weird, mysterious Phantom of the Opera Power Rangers reject villain guy that is taking over the town, and they need to stop them. The only way that they could do is the Cromwell magic, and all the Cromwells basically have to get together and back up this dude. And
they have to use Merlin's like light thing, right?
Yeah. They use some kind of magic stick, I like to call it.
Merlin's stick. That lights up.
And so then Gwen finds out, of course, that they're not there anymore and that they're in Halloweentown. Gwen goes over there. She tries to take the kids back. But as she does that, they go in the movie theater.
Yeah,
and then
everyone just starts randomly showing up in Halloweentown. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I snuck with you guys. We just didn't show it. It's like, okay, we have them now.
This is a very, very random movie. If you can't tell just by the explanation, it's a very, very random film.
Yeah. Last week you were like, well, what do you think happened? Like, how do they get there? And I was like, I think she dies. I think there's a cab with a skeleton. And you're like, no, not really. And then I found out it's just a bus, which is cool.
Yeah.
It was kind of like Harry Potter, which is like, is it like Harry Potter? You're like, kind of.
There
But
was
then
a
skeleton taxi cab was cool
Yeah.
though. I like
Yeah.
that character. His name's Benny.
Yeah, that's gonna be me whenever I die. I'm gonna become that taxi.
A bony
cab
taxi
driver.
driver, Benny the
Yeah.
Bone taxi.
I'm already just all skin and bones right here. So then some things happen and the kids are left alone to get the weirdest ingredients to try to create this potion to stop this Power Rangers reject villain. And they have to get vampire's tooth, a ghost sweat, and werewolf's hair, which the werewolf is basically Austin Powers. The vampire is just absolutely terrifying, and the ghost is just kind of who knows. And so next thing you know, they get all that shit together. They get the parents back, and they save Halloweentown, and happily ever after. That's literally the movie. Like that's
until the sequel.
Yeah. Which
they all learn how to use their powers together, and the Guardians of the Galaxy. Spoiler: the Guardians of the Galaxy, that bad guy, all hold hands, and they finally do their spell and realize they're powerful together if they just stick to their family traditions.
Yep. You know what? Let's spoil it. Who cares? Who cares?
It's revisited. Like people who are coming, they should know already by now.
Yeah.
I watched it. I had to watch it. You should too.
Yeah. So the villain of the movie, the entire thing of Halloweentown, the entire time they're there, they want you to believe that Luke, played by Philip Van Dyke, who knows if he's related to Dick Van Dyke? I still haven't.
Yeah, that's what I wrote too. I said related. I should
Yeah.
right when I saw it in the credits.
Yeah, they want us to believe this is a major red herring kid right here. They want you to think that he is the bad guy. In a kind of a way, he's like the bad guy's
Handyman, henchman.
Yeah, he's his Igor, and he's a goblin. Luke is a goblin, but this magic force makes him into. They keep saying handsome, but that's to each their own. So you're thinking that he's the bad guy, but right when they enter Halloweentown, they meet the mayor, who's Calabar, played by Robin Thomas, who is just absolutely awful. He's a complete dick. He's calling Sophie Soapy nonstop, even though Sophie continues.
I couldn't tell what he was saying incorrectly. I'm like, is he not saying Sophie?
No, he's saying.
And I couldn't
Soapy.
tell because they're saying so fast. But
yeah, it's just an odd thing to say. But he also has like this weird obsession with the mom, with Gwen, and anyways, this movie has like no like build up to his madness. It's literally just he just pops up, he makes fun of the kid's name, pops up again.
He's the mayor of Halloweentown, right?
Yeah, he's the mayor, of course.
He's just kind of like he seems like a really like famous person where he's just like he kind of doesn't really care about him. It's like
yeah, but the movie like that spends no time with this guy. But anyways, the Calabar ends up being the evil dark force,
which I would not have known unless there was already a sequel out because it says Calabar's Revenge. So when they said the name for the first time, I'm like, did they just call him Calabar? Is that Calabar? And I was like, okay, I didn't know that because this is my first time watching it. So I was like, I didn't know that. I was like, so that's the bad guy right from the get-go. I was like, there we go. So everything I watched, I was like, okay, I see where it's going. But for like people who don't know there's a sequel called that, it's just like, yeah, it's all kind of subtle where it's just like, okay, we're meeting these people, I guess.
Yeah, it's subtle, but it's subtle in a very strange way where it's just this movie is just it's the definition of throwing things at a wall and seeing what sticks. And Calabar's is one of them. It's like you can tell they from the first draft they're like the mayor did it. So what kind of scenes do we want to put him in? Let's have him call the kid Soapy, and he wants to the mom. Boom, there we go. And that's all of his screen time right there. Now he's just gonna be the villain at the end.
Next, they said this kid wants to watch nature documentaries.
Yeah, this kid wants to watch nature documentaries. He just has nonstop quips, one-liners.
The intern Glenn, let him write the characters. Just like he
Yeah.
seemed like it was written by an older man. It's just like, this is what I would want to do, and this is not what a kid would want to do.
Right.
So,
but there are overall though, I mean, like there are really good things, but that's Halloweentown right there in a nutshell. That's a brief breakdown of
a brief
the plot.
breakdown. I was like the whole, yeah. What I wrote for is Marty and her siblings discover their spooky heritage on Halloween night from their grandmother, who needs help stopping an evil force from rising in her world, Halloweentown. And that's all I was expecting from you.
Hell no. You've seen us do these things.
But that's
before.
what we
I
need.
break down
We
the
need
whole
people
plot.
to know what the whole situation is, because I didn't do that. I just wrote some side notes.
I mean, like every DCOM that we do, I'm assuming that people have already seen it. So that's why I just want to break down the entire thing, just so everyone can be like, yeah, that was weird. That was a weird thing that happened.
Yeah.
But now we get to the important question that all of the people that listen to the podcast have been wondering since day one, which we finally got him to do. We finally got Elijah to watch it. Now we are all aching. Elijah, what did you finally think of your first viewing experience of the one and only, the fourth ever DCOM original movie, Disney Channel original movie? What did you think about Halloweentown?
Halloweentown was a lot of fun. I see why it stuck around so much. Like the characters and the practical effects in the background of everything that they do. I see why it stuck around for so long, because it was so creative and goofy. It was very like it made me feel nostalgic for less CGI stuff, like, and more practical stuff. And I see why it stuck around in that way, because they really handled those ways in the way I want to say like original Star Wars era of like, they just put detail in the background of the moments very well. And it seemed like they had a lot of fun with making up the characters for the extras. Like it would have been fun to just be an extra on this movie. And I think that's why the world was so cool. And they didn't take itself too seriously with those costumes and stuff. Like I didn't understand the Elvis impersonator skeleton. That's why I was just like, those characters just made choices, put their costumes together, and made something happen in this world. And it was really fun. And I was interested to see where these, like, it was a good world building movie, because I had never seen a world like that except for like Nightmare Before Christmas or something. But it's fun to see it on the live action screen, and I liked it a lot. I had no idea it was Debbie Reynolds for my whole life until like we talked about it. Like I realized on the podcast that it was Debbie Reynolds. I was like, wow, okay. But yeah, I like this movie a lot. I would give it, I want to change it out of 5 to out of 10, because 5 is very restricting. So our reviews are gonna be out of 10 now. I feel like, or they should be. If you agree, that'd be cool.
hey, you can have whatever you like.
Okay, I'll go out of 10. I would give it for nostalgia, I would give it like a 6 or 7 maybe, because it doesn't seem like a 90s movie, which was 98, but it seems like a movie that's kind of like in its own bubble of time that like you can watch it whenever and feel like younger and appreciate it. I feel like, so that's why I gave it a 7. And to actually, for the actual movie, I would probably give it like a probably around there too, like a 6.5 or 7. Probably, it's really good. Like it's a movie that I would want to show like a younger generation for the first time and watch it with them and see what they think and see if they enjoy it. That's my opinion of it.
Yeah, no, that's what I think the people wanted to hear you say. I
hit the spot for the season.
Yes, no, that's what it is. Yeah, it's nice. It's a good family Halloween movie. If you want to watch something and you don't want to get like stay up all night, get too freaked out, but you want to still be in a Halloween spirit, like this is a pretty solid one. It's super cheesy. I don't expect it to be anything else, but it's still a lot of fun. And for the people that that grew up with it, now that we have Disney Plus and stuff, like to have access to something like this is actually pretty awesome. And this is why I wanted to do these DCOM reviews, is because of movies like this and like Pixel Perfect and Brink, movies that I never thought that I would ever see ever again. I never thought that I would have an opportunity to see these movies ever again. And Halloweentown's definitely one of them. And to have access to not just the first one, but the second one, the third one, and the fourth one is just like, kind of overwhelming.
Yeah. One of the first things I wrote after a while, I was like, does this movie have a prequel? Because I feel like they have a lot of stuff that they mentioned that already happened. I feel like they could make something happen, like a new version of Halloweentown. Like I know we talked about like a sequel series of Xenon, which would be interesting, and a sequel. I feel like a sequel series for this one would work too for nowadays. But I think there might have been rumors about it. But which one between Halloweentown and Xenon would you rather have a sequel series to? If you had to choose one.
Probably Halloweentown, because there's a lot more interesting things going on, like with Gwen and Aggie, why they are like so like, and also like Gwen with like the father, like she doesn't want to talk about, like she doesn't want to go, like I had such a warped
you're like, there's so many things.
No, I had such a warped theory in my head when and it's that the reason why Gwen doesn't want to go back to Halloweentown is because the father of their children died in some way, and it was like kind of her fault, and so that's why she was like, you know what, never touching magic again, don't want my kids anywhere near that place. And if it's not her fault, then maybe it was Aggie's fault. Maybe Aggie accidentally killed the father of her children. So, you know, but regardless of that, I know Disney won't go that dark. But
sorry, Justin, I don't know if we can do that, Disney said. Okay.
Because they're anyways, but I could see that, like, can see some interesting things. Like you said, like a prequel series or like something for a newer generation, like having bringing back Kimberly.
And they could just have like a new season or like mini season, like a season every Halloween season, instead of it being like they just plan for that every year. So they keep the theme of Halloween.
Yeah, even if it's a TV show, like if it's just like a movie, like another series of movies where like Kimberly J. Brown is taking the Debbie Reynolds role, I could see that happening. I could see it working.
Break open the multiverse and they bring in Sarah Paxton as another Marnie.
Oh, dude,
just kidding. So it's all Marvel stuff. Anyway, yeah, that's
goodness.
What would you rate that then out of?
So I would give it
for nostalgia and real rating out of 10.
Nostalgia, I would give it definitely a 10 out of 10. If this movie, like every single time I watch it, brings me right back to.
It's got this glow. There's something about 90s movies that just have this beautiful glow, especially for dark scenes that are all like candlelit and stuff. And the importance of the music in this movie. Yeah, it's just
the music.
There's this home feeling that I always have around 90s film and the way they look and stuff. Like in this one, really strongly. I said it doesn't feel like the 90s because the movie itself doesn't say it's the 90s, but just for technology sake, 90s for sure it's prevalent, and that's why I like
definitely as the series goes along, especially the second movie definitely stays with it definitely goes with the times.
Oh really? It goes more digital?
Yes, it gets a little more different, but
that makes sense anyway.
Yeah, I would give it
so 10 out of for nostalgia.
For nostalgia, I would give it a 10, but for an actual movie, even though you gave it a 6.5, and like we're kind of praising it a little bit, I'm going to give this movie a 5, only because it does drag a bit. And like I said, the plot is just, it's one of the most like, it's a messy plot.
Yeah, because they have like foreshadowing for the sister, the younger sister they're foreshadowing with. And it's very obvious they should have addressed it like way earlier on. Just be like, oh, she's the one she's more powerful than Marnie is. But
yeah, and I wish
there's a lot of things like that where it's like, I should address that.
Yeah, just and just the reveal of the villain too. Because I remember even when I was a kid, when they revealed it to be Caliber, I was like, wait, who is this guy? Because it's so unmemorable of who he was before, because he doesn't have a prominent role. I feel like if he had like a more like he showed up like every other scene, not just like. Yeah,
and they're trying to be like, who's this guy thing? And that should have been more of a mystery of who he is.
And more mystery, exactly. It makes you question like everybody that Aggie hangs out with, instead of it just being like, here's the mayor, here's this douchebag kid that got a new face. He's a goblin, but he has a new face. Here's this girl that Aggie hangs out with, and now she has a dub face too. That's about it. Everybody else just So that's
5.
I would give
that's
it
not bad though.
5 out of 10.
That's average.
Not at all.
That's an average.
Not at all. Yeah, no.
I feel like it's way easier to differentiate our rating now that it's out of 10. It's like, oh, that's right in the middle. That makes sense. Instead of saying, what do we say, 2.5 for average? I don't like that anymore. It just sounds better saying 5 out of 10.
Yeah, no,
5
I
out of 10
still,
popcorns.
I think, yeah, 5 out of 10 popcorns. I think that it's still a solid film. I would still watch this every year, especially since we have access to it with Disney
Yeah,
Plus.
it's definitely would be on my list of movies to watch. Now,
Mhm.
traditionally, it seems like a traditional Halloween movie.
Yeah. So should we do a sequel?
Right away.
Should we?
There's a couple I want to do before that, like that I do want to
Yes.
do this month. Like I want to do Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire.
That's the one I was just thinking. I think that one we should definitely do next. That one's a good time. I haven't seen that since I was a kid.
I like Robert Carradine. Is he related to David Carradine from Kill Bill?
Yes, he is. He
Really?
sure is.
Wow. Rest
He
in peace,
sure
David
is.
Carradine.
That is insane. Oh my god, dude. That is
Did that just
insane.
break your world? Yeah. So
Dude.
Mom's Got a Date with the Vampire is the 2000 DCOM, which was also a Halloween movie. It came out on a Friday the 13th of 2000.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about two kids who set their mom up on a date with a man who happens to be a vampire. Ooh.
I remember I just like one of the main things I remember from watching that movie is that the movie has a lot of weird sexual undertones for a kids Disney movie.
Well, the vampires, they always kind of have to if you do vampires that way. They're really seductive. They really lean into that. I remember watching this movie like once, so I don't remember it too much. I remember
Hell yeah, dude.
watching it. That's all I remember. And I remember the kid who was in it is in Spy Kids 2. He plays Gary Giggles, and this was his first movie. This is his debut.
He did. Oh my god. Yeah, dude.
This was his very first movie. 2 years later, he was in Spy Kids 2.
You're blowing my mind over here.
He ended up being in Brick with Ryan Johnson. He played the Brain, which is a character.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
he
that's
totally
him.
was.
Yeah. There's
Wow.
a few things that you'll probably recognize him in, but that's how he started his career, and it's really cool to see that. I didn't know that this was his first movie. But I did see it. I saw this movie when it came out a long time ago. That's all I kind of remember. I don't remember what Caroline Ray is from. Or Rhea Ray.
She
Plays his
is
mother in this movie.
She's the aunt in Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Oh yeah, that's probably where I saw her in that TV show.
She also is very known now for doing the roasts, the Comedy Central roasts.
Oh wow, that's funny.
Yeah.
Interesting. I did not know that. I didn't think that she was still around, but good for her.
Oh yeah, she's really funny. I like her. I like her.
Cool. I'm excited to see this one again. So hopefully you guys join us for Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire next week. On top of that 80s remake we didn't talk about. Oh, so much. So what a cliffhanger of an episode.
I love it.
Yeah, let us know what you guys are watching. If you guys saw 007, let us know what you thought. And if you saw Halloween Kills this week, if you see Halloween Kills this weekend, that's how you say it. Let us know what you thought. We'll try to see it too. Yeah, got anything to say to the people, Justin?
Don't do drugs. That's all I got.
Okay, yeah, we'll see you guys next week then. Cool. Thanks for watching. Join us again when you want to. Subscribe and stuff. Bye, guys.